Happy New Year's, everybody. Just woke up from a very long night, longer than I expected. um, I was supposed to make a video the other day, and I didn't. I forgot to. But okay, so you guys, you know that one episode of South Park where people were getting upset because like all the immigrants were taking their jobs or whatever. Okay, so you know that part where they're like, "Dirtuker gerbs, dirtuker gerbs." Okay, well, there's a similar situation going on in the witchcraft community. And my friend of mine posted something as a joke, and they were like, look, they're trying to go mainstream. And it was basically just like how other places, like other products like that are like completely normal, they do like the basic crap, oh, rub a bunch of chemicals on your face, this will make you look pretty like the people on TV. Not really. So, well, example of one of the things was Bior at incorporating a rose quartz wash mix of shit that you put on your face or whatever, and it comes with a rose quartz roller. And okay, so when witchcraft is being mainstreamed and so very few people actually understand what witchcraft even is, like, when you think about it, it's like, okay, I'm trying to see the positives about it. I'm like, okay, I guess people's initial reaction would be, oh, they're accepting witchcraft. They're normalizing witchcraft. It's okay for people to be a witch now. And I'm just thinking, like, if you're taking something so simple that it's beyond complex and you're just throwing it at a bunch of simple minded people that don't know shit about anything, and you try to pass that off as some kind of mystical juju going on. You can't normalize witchcraft. Like, it's a very dangerous practice. Yes, I think everybody should practice only because everybody uses magic, so you might as well just, you know how to use it properly. I mean, if you're going to walk around with a loaded gun, waving a loaded gun around all day, you might as well learn how to use it, right? So, you can't take something and just throw it out there, like pieces of it, and like without people even having an understanding of it. That's like, okay, that's like a bunch of people, like, say, like, being a doctor was popular and everybody wanted to be a doctor. That would, like, somebody, like a random fucking face cleansing company throwing in fucking um surgery utensils and knives. Oh, here's a surgical knife. to go with your face wash, cut those pimples. Like, no, like, these are things you go to professionals for, so to just be handing shit out, like, also, another big problem with it is the fact that you have practitioners who, from the beginning, this is how they made their living. So, when people charge for services, even if they are shit, even if they are bullshit and this, that, the other, they suck ass. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still paying for a service, whether it's good or bad, that's a whole other story. The point is, these people are charging for a service, they're trying to make a living, and obviously, if you're not a good practitioner, skilled practitioner, or born into this stuff and whatnot, like, don't be charging people. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, go fuck yourself. Don't be doing that stupid shit. Like, you need to find something else to do and stop being lazy and, like, making up bullshit to make people feel better so you get paid for it. But anyways, getting off track. Yeah, anyways, so when people are, charging for a service, pay them. Don't be like, oh, can you do this free? Or try to guilt trip. Like, that's the worst fucking thing ever, is when somebody thinks that they don't have to pay because you're supposed to do it because that's the good thing to do. Like, so for me to go homeless and starve and be hungry so that you can't spare me a few dollars because you're a greedy asshole, like, that's good, right? Okay. Okay. But anyways, so yeah, you got all these fucking muggles. They took our gerbs. Well, they're taking our gerbs, and they keep taking our gerbs because people don't get it, but this is very, very, very disrespectful. This is like the utmost disrespect for anybody on the entire planet. Like, this is the most disrespectful thing you could possibly do. And that is lie. Pretend to be something you're not. Portraying yourself as a certain way that you're not. So when some regular face wash company is like, ooh, witchcraft is popular, let's start throwing random, shit in there and make people feel like they're doing so much, you know, Harry Potter hooby doobies. And in reality, they're just still a bunch of blind cattle just doing the same thing. And it's like, people who give a shit about witchcraft, people who understand witchcraft, they want to share it with everybody. They want people to learn what it really means to practice witchcraft because it will make the whole world better. Like, and it's not like, even if you're somebody who practices dark magic, you walk a dark path instead of a light path, like me, even then it's like, you're not doing it because you care about these people. You can care less. It doesn't have anything to do that with that. So it's a good thing to do whether you're light or dark, because it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day you're just doing it so that the world can be an easier place for you to live in. There's less dumbasses in it. So yeah, it's just when you spread correct knowledge and you try to stop the ignorance and the misinformation and the liars and the frauds. It just makes things a whole lot better for everybody, especially for those people who are naturally born with gifts and abilities, and they're desperately like searching for somebody who actually understands what they're saying and who's actually experienced what they experience, and they can't because the only people that they're coming across are a bunch of attention whores and liars. So it's just really fucking disgusting when people do this. And I know a lot of people that do this are sick in more ways than one, not just in the head. And the best thing to do is just ignore these people and just be like, yeah, that shit's disrespectful. Like, gain attention, but you lost respect. Like, shit like that, you just don't do, because what people don't get is that this is a lifestyle. This is your fucking life. So when people are messing around with this stuff that shouldn't be messing around with this, pretending to be, skilled protection practitioners and whatnot, and they're not, they are literally fucking with a loaded gun and playing Russian roulette with it and keep clicking it. And one day they're gonna get that chamber that has all the fucking bullets in it. Just saying. So and also they're messing with other people's lives. Like, witchcraft is not a hobby. Witchcraft is not one of those things where you could decide to do it one day and then just not do it anymore, and then you start doing it again, or you just show interest in it. It is a lifestyle. This is a non-stop everyday thing. Like, it's your life, and people think it's so simple, and it's really not. You have to have a balance, mind, body, and spirit. That's why the first thing you say to people is, hey, make sure you get a psychiatric evaluation. Make sure you're right in the head, because most people that are mentally ill are drawn to the craft, unfortunately. And so, the body. I can't stand how you always have that moron that thinks that, oh, just meditate and stick a crystal up your ass, you'll be okay. That's their answer to every problem. Like, that's supposedly fix all, and it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot more to it than that. So like I said, with the mind, and it's not just about having good mental health. It's also about having a good mindset. You think positive. Even if you're a dark person, you still have to think positive about yourself, at least, And you also have to be educated. People think that, a bunch of any idiot can practice witchcraft. No. You have to be intelligent. It is a craft. It always has been, and it always will be a craft for only the highly intelligent. And what people don't get is, book smart ain't the same as being smart. I've come across plenty of people who are so freaking intelligent and never been a day in school. I mean, you have a lot of people that are living in villages and tribes, and they are a perfect example. Like, the way they speak and how they speak and the things that come out of their mouth, and these people have never, their whole people, all of their people have never had, like, really an education system, and yet the way they speak is like on such a deep level. Like, they get it because they haven't been distracted by all this bullshit like we have. So it's like people don't get, like, that's why, like, children, like, people don't understand, like, children are way more smarter than most adults because everything's simplified for them. They get it, they understand it, they comprehend things way more easier than adults do. It's crazy. But anyway, so one of the things that you gotta have in witchcraft is, yeah, the whole mentality part of it, and that's, that goes on all levels. That's being highly intelligent, educated. You're teaching yourself something every single day, having good mental health, thinking positive. And then there's the body. People are like, oh, meditate. What? Like, how the fuck does meditation keep you fit? It doesn't work like that. Like, no. Like, yeah, of course you should meditate every day, multiple times a day if you can, which you can, and I'll talk about that in another video. But as for now, no, the body, like your physical, so that means you have to eat right. And like the saying goes, you're either fixing the problem, or preventing the problem, or you're contributing to the problem. So you're supposed to be eating nothing but fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, and a little bit of meat here and there. That's all you're supposed to be eating. Mostly fruits and vegetables. So if you're eating other things, like the processed stuff, the stuff that's coming from farms where their animals are being tortured and beaten to death and all this other stuff. Like, I get it. It's like that's a whole other thing. Like, it's hard to get, organic all the time and get your meat from a good source. And like, I get that. That's a whole other thing. But, for the most part, if you have to strictly eat healthy. Like, so, because anytime you put something bad in your body, like put garbage in your body, you hinder your body in more ways than one. Because if there's a physical affliction going on with you, it will mess with you mentally and it will mess with you spiritually. So, one of the things that's definitely a must in witchcraft is good health, because you need it, because you're going to be using a lot of energy, and the more you grow in the craft, the more you'll realize you'll be using so much energy to the point that you'll find yourself eating more than a grown man and not gaining weight, because you're using so much energy when you practice. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, you can use just as much energy practicing witchcraft as you can exercising, but of course you can't replace that with exercise. You still have to do exercise, but I'm just saying, it's like, for the most part, like, it's pretty damn close. But anyway, so yeah, you have to have a healthy body. You have to drink adequate amounts of water for your body size. The more you weigh, the more water you need. The less you weigh, the less water you need. If you want to know the exact amount of water that you should be having each day, you take how much you weigh, you cut it in half, and that's how many ounces you should be having each day. So say you weigh 100 pounds. Cut that in half, that's 50. So 50, you need 50 ounces of water every single day. And also getting enough sleep. You need at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Really, really good sleep. You gotta do yoga. You gotta do stretches. Like, if you're not big into exercises, like, seriously, just do stretches every single day. You'll find, like, when you get up, the first thing you do is just lay in bed and do stretches. Like, come on, people. Like, You can stretch on the floor, you can stretch in bed. Like when you wake up, like you don't even have to do anything yet. You just roll around and stretch in your bed. Like, come on. So easy, so simple. Like, and that's exercise, yo. Like just moving your body. Like people just forget to just move. They just forget to do just the simple things. So when you get up, don't reach for your phone, this, that, the other. Just start stretching. Just roll around. Like, pay attention to your body and how it's moving and, the changes within it. And yeah, so eating the good stuff, staying away from all the bad stuff. And then, spiritually, just you got to do the things that you enjoy, that make you feel good, that are healthy. Like, if you're an artistic person, just paint, draw. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you who are like, man, I haven't done this in a long time, or I haven't done this since I was a kid, and I used to love it so much, but I don't, like, remember how to do it anymore. I don't know how to get into it. Just do it, because even though you don't know what to do, just go ahead and do it, because it'll start coming back to you, and you'll have so much fun just, like, remembering, like, all the incredible things that you did before, you kind of lost touch with it. So you gotta have a balanced mind, body, and spirit when it comes to practicing witchcraft. And there's so much more that goes into it. I mean, it's more than just that. You gotta be disciplined. You have to be dedicated. You have to be so determined. Practicing witchcraft will knock you on your ass many, many times, but at the same time, it's great. I mean, just as, everything positive that happens at this level, you're going to experience everything negative at the same level. And as it goes up, both sides are going up at the same exact time. So you're going to experience both equally. So it's like, do you want to experience the good and bad down here? Or do you want to experience the good and bad up here? Because a lot of people can't handle all of this up here. That's why a lot of people stay down here. They're like, I'd rather have just a little bit of happiness, if that means only getting a little bit of sadness, because I want as less of the negative stuff as I possibly can get. But it's like, what people don't get is, like, at whatever level you're at, it is, if you're going to be experiencing the equal of the two, you might as well do it up here, right? But not many people can handle things to the extreme, even if they're positive. So yeah, the all these places trying to mainstream witchcraft. I just wanted people to understand that those kind of things are highly disrespectful, and it takes away from people who this is their living. I mean, it's kind of like, the whole they're like, "Oh, let's give all the shoes to these poor African kids." They don't fucking need shoes. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that they need, but it's not shoes, I promise you. But anyways, so the people down there whose job it is to make shoes, they get put out of company because these people are just giving them a bunch of shoes and they don't even fucking need shoes. So the people that were making the shoes completely went out of business. So this is like a, kind of like this. I mean, that was probably an exaggerated, but I mean, at the same time, if you think about it, it's not, because it's just happening to those people in that one area versus this is happening to people all over the entire world, because people all over the world practice witchcraft, so you're taking away from a lot of people. So when I see these things, it just makes me cringe so much because people don't understand like how negative that is, like how bad that is, like the very negative effect that that's gonna have on us. Like, because I've been noticing witchcraft becoming more and more mainstream, and it's like it's a dying art, but it's so fucking popular because they're just making people think that you accumulate a bunch of garbage and that makes you a witch. That means you practice witchcraft, and it's like, no, like the most skilled witches and psychics that I know, they don't have shit. They don't use anything. We don't need any of that stuff. Like, we literally, like, everything and anything that we do, like, we can just do something right on the spot. Like, it's like we know what to do. We know what to reach for when it's needed, and it's like we know these things. So it's like just too many people they just don't understand it. And when you mainstream it, you make it seem so normal. Like, there's so much that goes into it, and people think that it's just simple. And I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. So when you go to these places, especially a lot of frauds and whatnot, they try to make you buy so much crap and be like, oh, you need this and that. And they're telling you a lie. They're selling you a lie. They're just trying to make money. Like, I get it. You need to make money for a business, especially if that's your living. I get it. I completely understand that part. But there's a way to go about it. And, if you speak the truth, if you tell people the correct thing, if you say how it really is, you'll make a lot more money doing that than you would trying to be greedy. Because if somebody comes in, they're like, hey, what's a good, beauty spell? As like a good, owner, you'll be like, you'll pick up the things in your shop, be like, hey, I recommend this for that, this for that, this for that. This for, like, would you like to purchase this stuff? Like, because it's like they're gonna be so excited. They'll be like, ooh, this is all the stuff that I need for this. And then, you sell them the items and you tell them what to do. Like, that's like an easy sale. But no, most owners, little assholes, is like, hey, you got anything good for this? Oh, if you want me to tell you something, you have to pay first. Like, they're they don't give a shit about people. They don't care about the customers. Like, they honestly don't give a shit about anything except the money that you have in your pocket. And like, these are people. This is when you need to run. This is when you need to run. Cause like, there's just so many places like that. So that's what I'm working on. Trying to have my own metaphysical shop, both a physical shop and online, so that way people can actually experience what it's actually like to have a skilled practitioner know what the fuck they're talking about and be able to actually help you instead of feeding you a bunch of BS and be like, oh, you gotta pay me first. Oh, you want to know this? You gotta pay. You gotta buy this first. Like, okay, like, but anyways, I was just wanting everybody to please do not encourage this mainstream of manufactured garbage that they're trying to pass off as witchcraft and whatnot and blah blah blah. It's just taken away from everything. It needs to stop. Like, don't buy this stuff. Like, I know it can be so tempting and they're so cute and blah 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 blah, but please don't buy this shit. Like, I mean, for those that are getting to this stuff and skilled practitioners, and anyways, you should be more mindful and conscious of the things that you do with your body, not just the eating, the health, and everything like that. It's, also the stuff that you put on it. So it's like, you know, using pure Castile soap, um, only using oil, not using lotions that are filled with alcohols and chemicals, not using all this craziness that you buy in the store, all these 500 products just for your face, and all these products for your body, and all these products for your hair. Like, you're like, as a skilled practitioner, pretty much the only thing you need is soap and oil. That's all you need, and like there's so many different kinds, so it's like you have so many options already, but at the same time you're keeping things simple. But yeah, don't buy the little chemical face washes with the little crystal pieces added and sage bundles and all this other craziness, because we don't need to be supporting that. We need to be supporting each other. Fuck the mainstreamers. We need to support those who are dedicated to the craft, loyal to the craft, who this is their life. This is their life, not people who are trying to make a quick buck, to people who this is their life. But yeah, I just wanted to give my little rant on the mainstreaming of the witchcraft. I also threw in a little extra stuff in there, but I was feeling talkative. But anyways, see you guys in a new video. Happy New Year. Peace.